Hi guys, so I am joined today, super excited because I'm joined by Gabby Hersham, who is the co-founder of the Huckletree Workspace. And Gabby is going to tell us about Huckletree, but I just want to make sure that everybody knows that Bolt Digital is a tenant in Huckletree. We've been here since May, so come 8-9 months, and it's been one of the best things that we have done for our business is to move into Huckletree. So Gabby, what is Huckletree?
So Huckletree is, as you mentioned, it's a workspace, but we think of ourselves more of a workspace accelerator than a co-working space because, as you've probably noticed, we get very involved in curating the businesses to fit the theme of each building, and all of our buildings kind of fit within technology and the wider technology ecosystem. This building that we're in is digital lifestyle, as you know, but we have other buildings that are themed otherwise more towards enterprise or different verticals. Media we're doing this year, so it's all quite exciting. And then in the buildings, once the buildings are created and the members are all in and happy, then we get quite involved in helping the member businesses grow. So we have a platform team that helps our members kind of meet potential investors or other people that could help them grow the business or scale the business.
So let's talk about the female founder thing, because it's something that I always get asked about all the time, and sometimes I'm baffled, like, why are we talking about this? And now I'm going to talk to you about it. But I'm like, why are people asking about this? Why is this interesting? And then you come to realise, I suppose it is interesting, so let's talk about it. But it's kind of a weird thing, because it's not, for me, you're not always thinking, I don't go about my life kind of with well, I'm a female founder, so I have these additional pressures. You're just getting on with stuff, and then you find people ask you about it. But it's funny, because when you arrived, the first thing we started talking about was our kids. So obviously, to some extent, is in the mind. So what do people ask you about being a female founder?
Like, how is it, well, first of all, like, how is it to fundraise? How is it fundraising? How are you treated in the boardroom? I get a lot. How do you balance everything? And I don't have the answer to that. I'm sure you don't either. It's so tricky. That is the only one, because I agree with you that I never look at myself as I'm a female founder and things, you just do the best that you can do.
And I don't really have loads of examples of, oh, I've been treated differently because I'm a female founder, apart from people asking about it. But I think when it comes to balance, then it's like I have loads of examples of not knowing the answer to that question or getting it right and getting it really, really wrong. So how do you do it? So you've got a son.
I've got a son.
Who's 3.
I can't balance it. It's really, really hard, and I often find myself like dropping him at nursery, running to work, finding myself a little bit on the back foot because I've arrived at work so late, almost apologetic about it, which I shouldn't be. Sorry, we can't afford to be. Everything is a priority. Also having to balance the fact that no matter what happens, my husband also works really hard. He's in venture capital. That when there's stuff at home, it does fall in my lap because I'm the mum. Although traditionally mums stay at home, so you're like, but it has to be equal because it's equal in the work playing field for us.
But it can't be. It's really hard to get it equal at home, I think.
You can't. So the mum, if you're a working mum and you work as hard as the dad, you take more on your plate.
I absolutely agree with that, and that's been my experience. For sure.
I mean, obviously there are some dads who really do, and I'm not saying my husband isn't amazing, and he is, but it's just, for me at least, that's the way it's been.
Actually, one thing I have noticed is on my videos, sometimes I get comments about things like relating to looks, positive comments, right, which is great, but it's a bit like,
it's really nice.
Yeah, it's nice, right, but you do, and I don't mind, in fact I'm really happy, I'm like, oh brilliant, that's nice, but also there doesn't think, well, you wouldn't just watch a video of a bloke talking about his business and be like, drop some comment about what he looks like.
But we are objectified. Is that the right word?
Well, yeah, it is the right word.
Right, and that's just the way it is, and I think it's to the point where men don't realise it, and we have become almost immune to it.
So coming back to the juggle thing, because I think, I've got a son who's 10, so I've kind of been juggling for longer. And one thing I've realised, and something somebody said to me once, which really helped me actually, was like, you're actually never going to get it right. All that's going to happen is you're going to go through it, and then it will be like your kids will be 16, and things will have changed. And I thought, wow, that's so interesting, because you're battling to get it right, and maybe you're not going to get it right, because when I look at the past 10 years, and I had a business before this business that I sold, and so after that I had some time off, and so kind of got it right for a short period. But if we're saying that right is being at home and being domestic, which I don't know if I believe it is anyway, but it's like the whole 10-year experience, I've never been in a sustained period of more than a few days where I've thought, oh, I'm managing this really, really well. It's like an ongoing battle.
No, I agree.
And not necessarily a bad battle, because I love my work and I love my children, but it's like it's still an ongoing kind of thing that you're...
I was thinking about it as I drove over here just now, because I was thinking about my son, and actually what was going through my mind is, I don't know if I'm getting it right, but I know that he's a happy boy.
Yeah,
and that is the only benchmark that I can go by, that something is working out well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And actually, this is from Facebook, because I also do work with Facebook, and they have they've got a whole campaign about female entrepreneurship and inspiring female entrepreneurship. And actually, I never thought it was a big thing in terms of, I know a few female founders, so I don't think it's unusual. But when you hear the stats from Facebook, then it's like only 1 in 5 businesses are started by women. You think, oh my God, it is actually a big thing.
So it's like 6% of venture capital funds last year.
And women raise percentage less of money, are able to raise percentage less money. They start businesses that are less funded. So 6% of venture capital fund went to women.
In 2017. Year before last now.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool. So then you start, so the cold hard facts bear out that it's a different landscape.
Completely.
But one thing they were saying in terms of inspiring female entrepreneurs and their view on it is that the mother who is kind of creating first at home in the kitchen or wherever it starts and then goes out to the workplace is providing the sort of vision for the child that it's perfectly normal to start your own business, and that's a really positive thing. So I took a lot from that as well, because I thought that was, again, I hadn't seen it in those terms.
Yeah, and just to add to that providing to the child the vision that the mother and the women in the workforce is to be as respected and to be on par with men. And that's so important. And it doesn't matter if you're raising boys or girls. But to show them that, I think, is one of the best things that you can do, and you give them that respect. I had a great quote the other day which really worked for me, which was, you're a working mom, you're so busy, you don't need to be the person cooking the dinner. You just need to be the one enjoying the meal with them at the table. Which for me spoke to a lot of different areas of my life with Jack, in that I may not be 100% involved in anything, but you can be sure that at the important moments, key moments, we're there with him. So
And do you feel guilty about it?
No, I don't feel guilty. I feel stressed. I really feel stressed. Like this week, for example, I mean, I know it sounds really silly, and it does sound like, I'm fortunate to have this problem, but my son is only at nursery half the day. So for the other half of the day, we have childcare. And this week, our nanny is on holiday, and that really has put
that's a nightmare.
It's been quite hectic. So it's really been like running from nursery to work, and bear in mind they're on opposite sides of the city. He's at nursery in West London, I work in East London. Frantically trying to call in parents and family members and help, and it's just very stressful. Whenever I do have moments of guilt, it's about going through exactly like you said. I'm actually doing my son a service by showing him that women can go out there and do this, and I'm building a better life for him. I'm contributing financially to our lives and to his possibilities, and all of those things are important.
And you're changing all the lives of all the people here in here as well.
In the small way that we can.
But it's quite a big way. There's a lot of people in here.
I think about it like this. I think about it that you spend more time awake in your office than awake at home, and so your workplace really has to be a happy place. And that is the premise of our design process, and why we don't just cram offices in, but you have breakout spaces and different spaces to work from, which for me is so crucial to my happiness in the day. If I don't have somewhere to go and take a phone call, somewhere to go and have an informal chat, somewhere to go and have a formal meeting, and lots of choice within that, then I just feel a bit caged.
And it's so true, because I always say that these guys are like free-range chickens, because they you are, do say that, they come in. But the rhythm of the day goes, they come in and we don't actually have, we all just have a kind of what's everyone doing today, like, quick meeting. And everyone's there, and then during the day, and it also reminds me of kids at the age about your son is 3, the way they venture off and then touch base, right? They come back, so they'll be in a play situation, they go off and then they come back, like in a play centre. It's like a kind of animal behaviour type of thing, and the same thing happens here. And where they then start disappearing off, but then they all come back, and they always just
come back to the mothership.
They come back to the mothership. It just reminds me of A, being a free-range chicken, or being a kind of 3-year-old, and your behaviour going off, come back. But I think it's brilliant.
I like that return to base concept. That you can kind of go off and do your thing, but then you come back and,